1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in they Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters don't move. Whatever.
Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Guard down! Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing on that intro. And if you want to get that song, hit me up on my email, 16tolifemusic@gmail.com, and I'm going to give you information on how to get it, man. Let's get right in today's video, man. So, yeah, man, by now, I'm pretty sure we all know the information surrounding Ant Hefe, right? And if you don't know, I'll get into that right now. You hear a lot of street cats, right? Use the saying, you know, I'll never wish jail on anybody or want to kick a man when he's down. And man, I definitely think we all can agree at this point, Ant Hefe is down, right? He's down, man, and we're gonna keep it real, right? You have some people I seen on Trap Lord Ross. He done a video asking, was Ant Hefe cooked? And you had a lot of dudes, man, upset with Ant Hefe in the comments. They was basically like saying, hey, man, you know, if that dude did it, man, you know, forget that dude, man. And they was talking about how horrific the injuries was of the individual who passed away. His name is Carl Welch, actually, right? And so, yeah, you had a lot of dudes basically, you know, saying, forget Ant Hefe, right? And so, of course, in a situation like this, man, you're going to have people on opposing sides of the spectrum with different type of feelings, right? Now, we know from time to time in the past, Wack 100 has gone back and forth with Ant Hefe. Actually, you know, they had some pretty volatile words toward each other, right? And was supposed to get a fade or whatever, right? And then I seen a day or so ago, Wack was saying basically that, you know, him and Ant, you know, they wasn't at odds. You know, they kind of smoothed things over. They had talked or whatever. And now today, man, I run across this video, right? And this definitely seems like Wack still has some ill feelings toward, you know, Ant Hefe. And like I stated earlier, you know, Ant Hefe right now is in a situation, man, where, you know, he's down, right? And so for a street dude or individual who at one point in time said he was a street dude, you know, to have these type of sentiments or express them at least publicly, you know, to me was a little, you know, it was a little different, right? But anyway, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about, right? And just to give those who may not be familiar with Ant Hefe's page, just to give you guys an idea of how he would often open up his channel. So here's Ant Hefe's normal opening.
Email. What's the good old big deal with the good old people? It's Hot Topics with your boy Young Ant Hefe, and I'm here to deliver you another one like the other one. The recipient of Hot Topics, man, we got Brick Baby, man, and P4K, man.
Okay, so now, yeah, you see how he done that, right? So now, here's what I'm talking about when I said it appears that Wack, well, it ain't no appear, you know, that Wack is kicking the dude when he's down, right? And addressing what he feels is the ignorance in decision-making by Ant Hefe. So let me show you.
The topic of today's discussion is Ant Hefe. We got another one like the other one. Now, we didn't figure it out, got nothing to do with the taco truck, nothing to do with Big U son. The exposers that sent me to work. He got another court date tomorrow. This is a DP that happened back in January, which makes it real ugly because that means they had over 4 months to investigate. I like to hear these dudes. I don't like to hear these dudes, but they're always popping it, relevant in the streets. I'm a member. I'm outside. I'm in my hood. Fuck you niggas. Nigga, if you still in your hood and you over 30, that mean you ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no home. I wish I would let a dumb nigga, a blind nigga, a bozo fake Israelite nigga tell me how I'm supposed to move. When I was your niggas' age, I was light years ahead of where y'all at today. Catch up, mustard. Dumbass niggas. Nigga in there for DP and a 51-year-old and get the fuck. I wish I would give a damn about what a 51-year-old Negro did when it did. All we gonna do is expose you, put your paperwork up, run your content on Clubhouse. 600 gonna run you, Eddie Boy gonna run you, we gonna blast it to Flacco, and at that point, we moving on about our day. I wish we would be talking about we gonna whoop on a 51-year-old because he violated some hood shit. You goddamn fool. Who out here for your kids now? Another one like the other one. Ant Hefe. You's a real member, my nigga. That's a fact.
So yeah, you definitely see right there, man, that Wack 100 was clowning Ant Hefe about his decision making, about him just still being involved pretty much in hood politics, right? And I'm gonna keep it 100, right? You're gonna have a lot of people out there agree 100% with Wack, right? Some individuals may not like the message, right? They may not like how he delivered the message because it seemed like he had a lot of animosity in his words, right? And so he definitely was pointing out Ant Hefe in an ignorant light, saying, hey man, that you still this old, you still caught up in this old type of stuff, you still trying to beat on a grown man, a dude who's 51 years old, about violating some type of hood policy. You know what I'm saying? He was just talking about it. It's ignorant. If you over the age of 30 and you still hanging out in the hood doing this type of stuff, you must not have much going on for you, right? And once again, man, it's gonna be a lot of dudes out there, man, who agree with Wack's words. Maybe they don't agree with his choice of words, but they definitely are going to agree with his words, because Ant Hefe is getting ready to be 36 years old, man. And I did a little information research on his situation to kind of see what I could get, and things definitely have took a turn for the worse, man. So let me show you guys what I mean. Okay, so I'm on the Los Angeles Police Department Inmate Information Center, and you can see this information was current as of 5/22/11/21, right, Pacific time, right? And so once again, this is the information related to Ant Hefe when he was arrested. It got his booking number up here, his last name Shellman, his first name Maurice, his middle name looks like Keandre, just the regular type information they put on, they put when an inmate is booked, right, into the county jail. Date of birth, 5/25/1990, right? So it's crazy because today, of course, is the 22nd. So he has a birthday coming up in 3 days, man. And so, man, what a hell of a way to spend a birthday, right? So as we scroll down a little bit more, it talks about when he was booked. I went through this in another video. He was picked up by the LAPD Robbery Homicide Division. And at that point in time, when I went through this last time, his bail was at $1 million, right? And so I said that even though he was picked up by the Robbery and Homicide Division, that $1 million bail was a strong implication that he was indeed being charged with a homicide, right? So as we scroll down here, and they say he had a court date today, right? I heard a couple people saying he was supposed to go to court around 8:30. And now, as we look at his bail actually has been increased from $1 million to $2,050,000, man. So that's definitely another horrible sign for Ant Hefe, right? And so when I'm speculating, here is this. So today when he went and appeared in front of the judge, the district attorney, due to the information that he was charging Ant Hefe with, actually requested a bail increase, right? And so they raised his bail from $1 million to $2,050,000. So we see down here as we go to the grand total, $2,050,000, right? So yeah, that's definitely implication of bad things, right? And so I guess from what the DA is talking about and the information that he's used, he must have some evidence which he clearly indicates, and this is normal procedure what the DAs do, right? When they get you in front of that court, in front of that judge, they're going to try to make you look as bad as possible in order to make it as difficult as possible for you to post bail, right? And so he actually requested, and it seems like was granted, a bail increase. And so once again, Ant Hefe's bail jumped up to $2,050,000, right? And so now this is just other, basic routine information that they put on these booking documents, right? The facility he's being held in is Men's Central's Jail. It looks like they give an address, City of Los Angeles, so on and so forth. Next court date, I don't know what this implies or means or whatever. Next court date, it says 5/22/26, which is today. So obviously that hasn't been updated. Case information, it says click on specific case for detailed information. Once again, we try to do this and nothing happens. Try to click on that information, see if they got anything. I tried to click on details. Nothing really significant pops up, man. Once again, just his bail again. He has no fines. Court date hasn't been changed or whatever. So, man, yeah, that's another sign, man, that the district attorney is coming for Ant Hefe's head full force. So yeah, you see his bail has jumped up from 1 million to 200 million, or excuse me, from 1 million to 2,050,000, right? So his bail has took a significant increase, and who knows what that's due to, right? I believe it's due to the severity of the situation, due to the due to the evidence that the district attorney is holding on to and is going to use to try to prosecute Ant Hefe in this situation, right? Because now all this stuff has came out, right? Ant has been charged with something that happened in January. So just like Wack said, right, the district attorney has had a lot of time to investigate this situation, right? Who knows, when exactly Ant's name came up. But it seems like the DA has been working on this for a while, right? And so when he goes and he presents this evidence to the judge, in front of the judge, of course, he's going to try to make Ant Hefe seem as bad as possible, right? And that he's a danger to the public, and therefore he needs a high bail to keep the public safe, right? Also, we've seen a couple of YouTube channels report on the potential of Adam 22 trying to post Ant's bail right now. Who knows if that played a part or not in the district attorney requesting that the bail be set higher, if in fact he did set it higher, right? Because $1 million bail will hold most people, right? So I'm assuming that he requested a bail increase. I don't normally think that that's something that the judge does, right? Especially when your bail is already at $1 million. But more than likely, the district attorney probably argued that due to the severe nature of the charges and the things that he's being charged with, he presents a danger to society, right? And then I'm pretty sure he argued some of the other things that he felt should warrant a bail increase, like going to prison before, being locked up for whatever it is, he has been locked up for. The district attorney in that situation will run across your prison record, or your criminal history, and once again, try to make it as difficult as possible for you to get bailed out. Now, just in case, right? Just in case people are not familiar with the latest turn of events, right? So Ant Hefe is being charged with basically the beating of another individual until he lost his life, right? Now, this individual, his name is Carl Welch. He was 51 years old, and actually, they're saying that this was a DP gone bad, which was a discipline, right? So obviously, it appears that Carl Welch had done something that was in violation of the streets, of the gang policy, and so they met him at some place, and basically he was beat up and assaulted, and he lost his life, right? So right now, they're only charging, it seems like, Ant Hefe and another individual by the name of Johnny Gray. Yesterday and the day before that, there was reports that they had picked up 3 or 4 dudes from Hefe's section, right? But now it seems like it's only 2. So who knows exactly what the district attorney is describing in his reasons for bringing charges on these 2 individuals, but obviously he must at least feel that Ant Hefe played a significant role to the point where it warrants being charged with this homicide, right? So yeah, it's a cold situation, man, and like I showed you guys during the document on the information, the Los Angeles Police Department Information Center, man, Jefe is getting ready to be, I think, 36 in 3 days, right? So he's going to be spending his birthday locked up, and not only it's going to be bad that he's locked up, I think the thing that's going to be much, much worse than that is being locked up knowing that the amount of time he is facing may be enough time to where he'll never see the streets again. He's getting ready to be 36 years old, right? So you have to run off 25, 30 years, that's a significant amount of time, right? And so the way I believe it is now in the California Department of Corrections, you are, eligible for a elderly parole hearing after you've served 25 years, even if you get like a 75 to life, right? So if in the event something like that does happen and he does end up with a life sentence, he would be 60 before he would even be eligible for parole, right? Under the elderly parole hearing law, right? So I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm just saying that by me being incarcerated at one point in my life, facing serious charges, I know that there's a lot of things that runs through an individual's mind, right? Especially, I think it's easier. I think it's easier to do time when you're younger and you have potentially never been to prison before, But once you get older, and now you know what it's like, you actually know what you're up against. I honestly think that makes time even rougher than being young, being naive, because you feel, when you're younger, sometimes if you're a gang member, you feel like you're up to the challenge, you have really no idea what you're about to go and face, right? But when you get in your 30s and you've been to prison, maybe 10 years, 15 years, or whatever the amount of time is, now you have a good idea of what you're up against, right? And so all these things, I am pretty sure, are at the forefront of Ant Hefe's mind, man. But anyway, yeah, we're going to see how this go, man. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, more twists and turns on this situation. Anyway, man, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.